weekly report. Today is Friday 13th October. This video goes out 5:30 in the evening, and we're looking at the November 2017 UK wheat chart, and the market is live at the present moment. We've got the yearly chart in front of us. We've identified that the market is testing the 60 SMA price at 140.73, and that price at the moment is trading at 140. So we're testing this SMA. We've got four red candles down now. We've identified two previous areas back in 2010, 2014, where the market broke up through the 60 SMA and then came down to test it. In 2010, it obviously held and went back up. In 2014, it didn't, it went straight down. Now, are we going to see the 2010 or the 2014 action? Let's have a look, see what we can identify. At the moment, we've got a swing high here at 140. Let's see what we can pop down into lower time frames and see. On the monthly chart, we can now see these four red candles. We can see the swing high here at 142, and obviously we're forming a big red candle here. Let's pop down into the weekly. In the weekly here, we saw this price sideways action during during August. Then in September, towards the end, we saw these three stellar weeks where we had three green candles, and then we hit a high here 144, and obviously that's been quite significant, taken out this week, and we're down back here 140. On this weekly chart, the SMA 60 came at 138.94. that would act as support. 139, we're above that at the present moment, but obviously we can see here, cast eye left, we've broken the swing high at 142. Let's pop down into the daily. Now I'm using Pro Real Time on this daily to try and show you what we've been trying to identify. We were using the 20 SMA to give us some indication of whether we had a chance to get back up to our target figure at 150. Along the bottom here, I've got a price oscillator just to give you an indication when the price was above the 20 SMA or below it. We can see back in early May we broke above it and we had this nice rise up here. That finished on the 18th of July, and prices went from 140 to 154. That was a stellar rise there. And then we got into July, August. 18th of July, crossed on the downside. We went for 46 days and we saw a low of 136. We then, on early September, had a cross upwards. This went sideways action for some time. We broke above the swing high we identified on the daily chart of 142. We got to high of 143, 144, but then this selling came back in again. We've broken the 20 SMA. So on this pattern, we would look for another sort of 36 to 40 days below the 20 SMA. So where would we see support come in? Support would come in at 136. On this swing high here, I've got 154 and I've got a low of 136. I did a Fibonacci retracement. We did get up to 38%, but this unfortunately didn't hold this week, and we've broken down through the monthly pivot here and below the 141, which is a 23% retracement. So unless we see any significant action where we break for 2 days back above the 20 SMA, which comes in at 141.60, unfortunately it looks as though we're back in this sort of range we've seen here back in May and June. I'll put a mark over here. You can see this bit of price action here, and we saw this similar here that we're now back into. But obviously, if we then take out the 136, then we're looking at sort of 34 below. So my impression would be that we're below the 20 SMA. We're back in a sideways ranging market again. We had a chance of a rise back up 150. This has been taken out. But obviously, we look for, if we saw a close above the monthly pivot and a break above the 20, then we could be on for another, try this swing high again. But at the moment, I would see sideways action next week. Thanks for watching.